Xbox Showcase, they managed to make Starfield one of my most anticipated games of the year. Again, I have to say this in every single PlayStation or Xbox video I make. If you are a console warrior, in my comments section, I'm gonna implode myself. I'm gonna make my own spaceship and shoot myself into the moon because I just can't do it. I cannot handle any of that stupidness. The Xbox Showcase was actually really, really good. I think it was the best showcase we got. It was miles better than the PlayStation Showcase, and that is simply because of a few different things that we got throughout. I'm gonna make separate videos for each thing that I'm really excited for because that's how I roll, that's how I ramble, that's how I talk, and in this one, I gotta pick some people's brains about Starfield. Can we just sit back and appreciate how great this game looks? I don't really understand why people say it looks like No Man's Sky. I understand why there are different aspects that people can see that were inspired from a game like No Man's Sky, but this game doesn't look like any game we've really gotten before. I'm gonna play most of the game in third person, and I know one of my boys is going to play most of the game in first person. And the fact that we can do that and have the same experience is fantastic. I think the gunplay looks miles better than what we got originally about, I think it was a year ago now at the last Bethesda Xbox Showcase when we got our first kind of glimpses of Starfield, where it just looked kind of muddy and it didn't look complete, and I'm very glad that they fixed a lot of it. Whoever was playing did a great job at showing the fast-paced nature of the gunplay, and I'm very excited for it. The showcase really was just jam-packed with a lot of information, and I don't even know how to really cover all of it because I'm not a news channel like Alex. I just kind of give my opinion. And my opinion is that this game is going to be really good. I was talking with another one of my really close homies the other night, and he said that Starfield is his most anticipated game of the year because he loves astronaut explorer games, for one, which is hilarious, but for two, he also said the only thing that he's concerned about is if it releases in a very similar state to a recent CD Projekt Red game that came out 3 years ago now. And I am with him in that boat. That being said, we know that the game is locked at 4K 30 FPS. I have some differing opinions on it. Mostly is that I don't really care if it's in 30 FPS or if it's on 60 FPS. To me, it's not a very big deal. I also don't have a 4K monitor, so I'm not gaining anything from it being locked at 4K. I just think that consoles in general should have options like PCs do. That's going to make me sound really stupid because obviously PCs are a lot more complicatedly built than consoles, but as the console generations have gotten further and further along, we are definitely in a place where consoles are more like PCs, especially the Xbox Series X is more like a PC than any other consoles we've gotten previously. I also think that pretty much every game should have like a performance and a quality mode, and I don't know game design, but I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to implement. However, some of my favorite games that I've ever played when they released were 30 FPS. The Last of Us in 2013, I'm pretty sure was 30 FPS. So, and we all know how great that game is. I know they're completely different. They're completely different consoles, but Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are locked at 30 FPS, and they struggle sometimes to hit 30 FPS, and they're still great. The two really good, consoles not hitting 60 FPS really is just not that big of a deal, and the people who are making it a big deal usually have an agenda, so let's just put it that way. Again, that's my preference, that's my opinion, because I'm gonna look past the 30 FPS because of how great everything else about this game looks. You know how hard it is to make a good collector's edition for a game and they don't even give you a physical copy of the game? That's what they did. The collector's edition looks amazing, and you don't even get the physical disc. I think one of the only other things that actually concerns me is we know that there are just hundreds upon hundreds of planets that are just easily explorable in this game. The only thing is, we know that some of them are going to be empty, or possibly a lot of them are going to be empty. So I'm afraid that this is going to feel like a very bloated experience when I would rather it not be that way. Obviously, I understand that it would be incredibly difficult to build a game that has hundreds upon hundreds of explorable, like, whole ecosystems and have each part of the ecosystem functioning in its own way. I don't think consoles are there yet. I don't even know if computers are there yet. They probably are, but consoles aren't. At the end of the day, this was built to be a console experience, even though, yes, it is coming to PC, and it's probably going to be better on PC because people can mod it and people can do all this different stuff, and it's gonna run, I believe it's not locked at 30 FPS on PC. So, but personally, I'm actually really stoked for the story of this game. Obviously, it's Bethesda, so take that as you will with the story. If you love Bethesda like games and the way they tell their stories, then you're probably in my boat where you're just really intrigued to see where it goes. I'm pretty sure we know almost nothing about the story, so I just want to see what happens. I hope we get like a lot of really good storytelling aspects about why we're going to explore all these other planets, what we're doing it for. Are we trying to like rebuild civilization? Is it like an interstellar thing where the Earth is just out of resources, so we got a GTFO? Like, what are we doing and why are we in space? And I just want to know why. I hope me gushing over Starfield helps you in your excitement in Starfield, because I hope everyone is excited for this game. Again, I think this is easily one of, if not game of the year. It's going to be hard because Spider-Man is a completely different experience and people are going to compare them. Even I'm going to compare them at the end of the year because I plan on doing my favorite games of the year. However, the only thing that I feel like will edge Starfield out is there is almost no other game that you can really compare it to, because it is not only is it a first-party Xbox game, but it is one of a kind. You can compare it to No Man's Sky if you want, but it just doesn't really make sense to me.